The Kingstone, the Whispering Knights, the King's Men, a Neolithic monument, or a king and his army turned to stone by a witch. This is a place of legends, superstitions, fairy folk, spirit paths and ritual. These are the Rollright Stones. On the boundary between Oxfordshire and Warwickshire stands a collection of weathered megalithic monuments. Home to colonies of ancient lichens, and of course to insects, small mammals, and fairies, the Rollright Stones site is a mysterious and liminal space. How the stones came to be placed where they are is a well-known tale. A king, leading his men, was stopped from crossing a field by a witch. She told him that if, after taking 7 steps, he could see the village of Long Compton, then he would become King of England.
7 long strides thou shalt take, and if Long Compton thou can see, King of England thou shalt be.
The king was confident, replying, However, on his 7th step forward, a hillock rose magically before him, blocking his view. And the witch punished him, his knights, and his soldiers, turning them to stone.
As Long Compton thou canst not see, King of England thou shalt not be. Rise up, stick, and stand still, stone, for King of England thou shalt be no. Thou and thy men hailstones shall be, and I myself an elder tree.
The witch transformed into an elder, a sacred tree with magical properties associated with the realm of fairies, and is subject to one further legend. On Midsummer's Eve, people would gather around the Kingstone and cut the elderflowers, bleed the elder, to which the Kingstone would respond by bowing his head. These days, the Kingstone is protected by a circle of railings, alone, apart from the fairies said to dance around him on summer nights, and forever blocked from seeing Long Compton by a low mound of earth. The King's men stand in a circle, and according to legend, you'll never count the same number twice. Some say madness awaits anyone who tries to number the stones. Others say that if you do manage to count the same number 3 times, you'll have your heart's desire granted. Modern surveys suggest there are 77 King's men. Small comfort to the baker who swore he could count them all and attempted to do so by placing a loaf of bread on each stone. Every time he tried to collect the loaves up, some were missing, removed by some unknown force to thwart his efforts. It is believed that on some nights the King's men reanimate. They return to human shape and go down to a local stream to drink, and on other nights they'll join hands and dance. More convivial perhaps than the Whispering Knights, the remains of a dolmen, a portal tomb or stone table, some distance away from the king and his men. The Whispering Knights were described by a visitor in 1881 as very weird in the moonlight when they can fairly be imagined to be alive and moving. Their positioning indeed implies an air of secrecy, heads inclined, possibly hatching plans of rebellion against their king even as the witch cast her spell. Moving any of the stones is reputed to bring bad luck, though that didn't stop locals trying to take one of the Whispering Knights to use as a bridge. Transporting the stone to the stream proved a nearly impossible task for a team of horses, and for the following 3 mornings the stone was found moved back to the bank. Eventually, they decided to return the stone, and to everyone's surprise, a single horse pulled it uphill effortlessly, in stark contrast to the number required to bring it down. Another cautionary tale concerns a farmer who took one of the stones to repair part of his property. But while it was on his land, he was cursed with bad luck. Crops failed and cattle died, and his fortunes were only reversed when he put the stone back. It may not just be for the protection of the Whispering Knights that they are also now surrounded by railings. Despite all that we now know about the Rollright Stones from an archaeological perspective, including their stone type and age, the question of why they were erected remains something of a mystery. They are undeniably a place of remarkable beauty and significance, with an atmosphere of great peace and stillness, and they remain an important site for gatherings and rituals. Do the ceremonies that take place today echo the weddings, initiations, and memorials of the past? Do modern astronomers drawn to the site follow in the footsteps of ancient stargazers? Are dowsers now picking up the earth energy and ley lines that drew our ancestors to this site in the first place? Or are they in fact tracing the flight paths of the fairy folk said to inhabit the stones? These little folk are bewitching, but are not the helpful sprites who tidy kitchens, and they don't take kindly to their revels being spied upon. They have been spotted dancing at the Kingstone, vanishing afterwards into a hole, and attempts to block this entrance always fail. An incautious watcher who sees these pixies could find themselves forced to dance, subjected to tricks, or even pulled into the fairy otherworld and never seen again. Witches and fairies and a complex of megalithic limestone monuments. The Rollright Stones are a magical place where geology meets folklore, where myth blends with history, and where the mysteries of the past intertwine with the present.